chapter.
I'm sure it does.
Oh, okay.
From your practice that recently did the
Oh,
Florida League of Cities.
we'll just add that.
Conference paper. Robert Eschenfelder.
All of them have been doing it. We had Jay doing it, Randy, and Rob. So I'm not sure which one, but
Just the most recent one. I just didn't want to
if it
mispronounce
was
his name.
with Dr. Payne, it was Rob Eschenfelder.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
want to mispronounce his name because
No,
that's
that's
so rude.
That's all right. You're welcome. You're good.
Afraid to touch it.
Mayor
That's my
Beaver's back
hearing.
What's that?
there. Mayor Beaver's back there. Okay.
Okay, we have a new rule about 701. Did you hear that one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it has to do with live streaming. It's a weird new thing.
All right, guys. See you later.
I'll tell you, I promise. Not starting to.
I'd like to call this Tuesday, January 4th, 2022 meeting to order of the Oldsmar City Council. Next two items on the agenda are the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please rise.
Our Heavenly Father, we come humbly before you to ask your divine guidance and help in our deliberations this evening. We especially ask for your blessing on the new city manager as she is seated this evening and begins her work. We give our special thanks to the many years of faithful service given to the citizens of Oldsmar by your servant, former city manager Al Braithwaite. Our prayer is that Al will continue to participate in the affairs of the city of Oldsmar so that his contributions can further enrich our lives. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. So I have to explain really quick. We did start 1 minute late, which drives me crazy. But apparently YouTube has a new streaming rule, and if we start at 7, we get cut off and it doesn't work. So that's the reason. So, all right, a couple of items before we go on to the next item on the agenda. I did want to, as you might have noticed, Vice Mayor Knapp is out tonight. He is feeling ill, so we wish him a speedy recovery. And I'm sure he's home watching right now, which will be really frustrating because he won't be able to comment on anything, which we might enjoy up here. I'm just going to comment on that. So I do want to recognize, before we go on to the next important item on the agenda, that we have here with us tonight a guest, Chair of the County Commission, Dave Eggers, is here. And yeah, give him a round of applause. We also have former Mayor Jerry Beaverland here. So with Jerry around. All right. The next item on the agenda, exciting night, swearing in our new city manager, and that task will be handled by our city clerk, Ann Nixon, and Felicia Donley.
And holding the Bible for Felicia Donnelly is her husband, Mr. Jim Donnelly. Hold your right hand up and repeat after me. I, Felicia Donnelly,
I, Felicia Donnelly,
a citizen of the state of Florida,
a citizen of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America,
and of the United States of America,
and being a charter official
and being a charter official
of the city of Oldsmar,
of the city of Oldsmar,
and a recipient of public funds,
and a recipient of public funds,
as such officer,
do
hereby solemnly swear
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Florida
and the city charter
and the city charter
of the city of Oldsmar.
of the city of Oldsmar.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Bring the family up.
Yeah, photo op. You have to say something.
Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's an absolute privilege and an honor to be able to serve a community such as Osmar and Oldsmar in this capacity. So I look forward to many years to come. So thank you to my family. Thank you to Jim and my mother-in-law and my brother and sister-in-law. Thank you guys for coming.
Put the microphone down.
Well, congratulations.
Hi again.
We're excited about it.
Yeah.
We are very excited about it. We know you'll do a great job. You've already been serving the city well, and Al was convinced that it was a good time to leave because you were here to replace him, and now we're going to hold you to it. Now we're going to hold you to it. We do have a couple guests here. I don't know if they'd like to just say a comment, Commissioner?
Well, first of all, let me make a correction, Mayor, and I never like to correct a mayor, but I'm no longer the chairman as of January 1, so that's good news. Commissioner Justice is now the chairman starting
Very good.
January 1. But I'm just really so proud of Felicia. And, you know, she is just watching her over the years in the city of Clearwater and what she did there and the impact that she made to the community. And then coming over here and doing just even stepping up even higher to higher levels. And so on behalf of the County Commission, I did want to say congratulations. We've got really good city managers in North County, really around the county, but I'm really kind of focused on North County. And Felicia, you are right there with the other four, and I'm just so proud of you. And we'll be watching and wishing you so much success. And there's anything you need from me personally, as far as your job and anything in Oldsmar, just let me know. But we'll be watching you and look forward to many, many years of success. And so congratulations to you, Felicia, and to your husband. I know that it takes a strong spouse to get to this position in your career. So you can't do it by yourself. So anyway, congratulations to all of you for making a great choice. Thank you.
Mayor Bieberlin, did you want to say something? Of course. Come on up. Before we get into citizens' comments, because I don't have to time you that way, but come on up.
My favorite county commissioner. My favorite attorney. I can't call you my favorite, and that's for obvious reasons. We're proud of you, Felicia. We have been privileged to have 3 of you people sitting in this city in the last 35 years. You got big shoes to follow, but I'm sure you can follow them. And everything in North Pinellas County is the best, especially the city of Oldsmar. Thank you for letting me. I have a couple of things, and I promise you that I'll get done in 5 minutes.
Well, then let me do this. We're gonna, if you're done on the comments with Felicia,
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll into the citizens' open forum. Mayor.
You know, I started this 5-minute crap a long time ago, and I got caught in it. We have a destination. Osmar is a destination. I think that's incredible. And I thank you all for serving this incredible city that we have. We have a couple of places that are actually destinations in this city, and one of them is Veterans Park that I'm very proud of. When Roger decided to sell his land, I went to him and said, sell it to the city of Osmar. He said, I didn't know they wanted it. And I said, I'm telling you know now. He said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give the city a good deal at $1.2 million. And I came here the next day and told Bruce, we're going to buy that land down there, $1.2 million. He was, go for it. And if you remember, I went to Tallahassee and made a 5-minute speech, and they gave us $1.1 million back in a grant. Anyway, I'm just here to ask you to place this on the agenda at another time, because it's going to take more than 5 minutes, but it won't take much more than 15 minutes to talk about it, Mayor. The Path of Heroes in Veterans Park. I know we've talked about it. I don't know if you've been over to Tampa yet, but we need to place in Veterans Park the Path of Heroes. And during this path, every few feet, we will have a monument dedicated to those people that gave their lives or served this city and this county and this incredible nation under that flag. And those monuments don't cost that much. She said, well, do you know how many people in this town, how many businesses would love to sponsor a monument to our heroes? Mayor, that's it.
Good job.
Wow.
So if you'd place it on the agenda as an agenda item one time, and I promise it probably wouldn't be over in 15 minutes. And then you can set the priorities of how we can approach that pathway of heroes in the Veterans Park. Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
sir. And I went over there, Jerry. They had been closed, and the executive director was out, didn't do the tour, but I just went over there anyhow to look at it. It's amazing. It's really amazing. If you're not familiar with it, I would suggest you go online and take a look. And it is definitely a destination, and it would be for us. I mean, I think the park right now is a destination, but that's like a whole nother level. So I won't try to explain it, but I agree it needs some agenda time. Is there anybody on this side of the room who'd like to speak? Citizens Open Forum? Thank you, sir. Anybody on this side? All right, at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and close the Citizens Open Forum, but before we go on, I wanna call up, we have a new sheriff in town. That just came to me. He's not really the sheriff, but he's our deputy. I would like Deputy Martinez, who is our new community officer, assigned to us. As you may have heard, our community officers were reassigned, and some of us requested that Deputy Martinez would come back, and here he is. So, sir, welcome home.
It's good to be home.
Yeah.
This is my new partner, Deputy Edwards.
How you doing? Welcome.
And since I'm a familiar face, I'll let Deputy Edwards talk a little bit.
Again, my name's Deputy Patrick Edwards. I'll be the additional community policing officer here for the foreseeable future. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody and be here to help you guys out with anything you might need and any suggestions you have, and any way we can benefit the city and help keep it as great as I've heard it is and make it better.
Very good.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we have a long list of outstanding CPOs, so we're excited to have you back and looking forward to your service here as well, sir. All right, I'm going to go on, and next item on the agenda is the Community Minute, which will be announced by our City Clerk, Ann Nixon.
Coffee with the mayor is tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock via the city's Facebook page. Grab your coffee for a conversation with Oldsmar Mayor Eric Seidel. He'll provide a brief recap of the city council meeting, this one, and answer any questions from the viewing audience. The Christmas tree recycling. So if you have a live tree, well, it's not as live anymore, but it's free for residents. So now through Friday, January 28th at Arields Park, recycle wood, recycle tree for free. Recycled wood Take your Christmas trees down there. Bring a tree to a designated area at Ariel's Park. Remove all the lights and decorations, because you want to keep those for next year, right? And then trees are ground down and used as mulch for city projects. Bonus. And free lightning hockey clinic. So Saturday, January 15th from 11 to 1:30, and it's by age group. Join the Lightning alumni and staff for a ball hockey clinic. 45 spots per time slot. Registration required. Clinic consists of skills and drills. No experience or equipment? No problem. Clinics are for all skill levels to try out for the great sport of hockey. Ball hockey stick provided if needed. No other equipment necessary. And 6 and under is from 10 to 11. 9 and under is from 11:15 to 12:15. And then 12:30, 1:30 is 15 and under. Oldsmar.com.
Very good, thank you. Thank you. I have to tell the story real quick on the Christmas tree recycling. It's right around the corner from where I live. On Christmas morning, by 11 o'clock, I had to run up to the stores and get something, right? And on my way coming back, there was already a Christmas tree there.
Oh, my.
I'm like, wow. That was great. I'm impressed. Yeah, they were over Christmas. All right.
Timely.
Next item on the agenda, approval of addition of new agenda items. We have item 1, 3, 12, and 14. Does anybody wish to pull anything?
No, sir.
All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Senton, you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is presentation of Florida Municipal Communications Association 2021 Outstanding Award for Best Podcast Episode. And that's going to be presented by our city manager, Felicia Donnelly, and myself.
Thanks for coming up. The Florida Municipal Communicators Association awarded the city of Oldsmar 2 awards at its annual conference in November. The city received Best Podcast Episode for its Experience Oldsmar podcast featuring the former city manager Al Braithwaite, and an honorable mention for its podcast featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce's Jason Sanders. Although this award is presented to the city, it features the dedicated talent and work of Deb Vitrelli, the city's marketing specialist, and Mark McGinley, the city's multimedia coordinator. Deb initiated this platform as an additional method to communicate with the city's residents. As a program manager, she coordinates and serves as the city's host. I will tell you from experience that this is way more difficult than it seems. She is supported by Mark McGinley, who ensures that the audio and visual components are something the city is proud of. The city appreciates your efforts to make the city a leader in the field of municipal communications. It is very relevant at this point to congratulate Deb Vitrelli. She currently serves as the president of the Florida Municipal Communicators Associations. This is certainly a tribute to Deb, to you, that she's elected by her peers and serves as valuable organizations statewide. So congratulations.
That one breaks.
You break it, you bought it.
Do you want me to take this while I take the picture?
No, just hold.
That's awesome.
I'll try my best.
That's it.
Great work.
Congratulations,
guys.
well deserved. I know how hard you work on this.
Yes.
Anything you want to add?
Oh, just, I wish my cohort was here tonight, Mark, so, But this is quite an honor, and, I'm thrilled that the city really pushed this initiative for, communicating with the community, so. And be sure to subscribe.
Thank you. And a very happy birthday to you, Deb.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations. Go back. back down.
Yeah, next item on the agenda is a presentation of business of the quarter for fourth quarter 2021. 2021. Huh? Got it. That's me.
Every time you go up and down, I'm going to clap.
Well, I'm excited to present
Give it a little.
this award.
There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and the award is presented to TLC Adult Daycare and Recreation Center, and I'm going to ask Tom Wingo to come up. Come on up, Tom. Oh, you are going to come. Ah, all right. I convinced her to come up. Good job. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm going to hand it to you. Well, I'll wait till I read a little bit here. I highlighted a little here. Okay. All right. So Tom has over 25 years in healthcare management experience, 15 years. Tom owned and operated a home health agency. He's been the CFO. He's been the CEO. He is a graduate from Florida State University. We'll try not to hold that against him. Sorry. After spending many years caring for seniors and adults in assisted living homes and healthcare settings, Tom and his wife and family decided to try something new. They asked the question, is there a safe and affordable option for families to stay at home longer when a loved one's health starts to decline, but the family member or the caregiver needs help during the day? And so ultimately, they made the decision to open up an adult daycare center. Now, for me, the story starts earlier because what some people may not realize, that one of the jobs of the mayor is you often will meet with folks when they're thinking about coming to your area or they're working on coming to your area, and you do it with the chamber, and it's a good opportunity for them to get to know the folks who are here in the city. And so I think it was about 2018, wasn't it?
It was 19.
Was it 19? Okay, it had to have been early then because, yeah, it was around then. And so we met, and they, I think, had just signed a lease over at their location. And I've done these meetings many times, and I remember listening to them and the passion that they both spoke about. This was more than a business. This was a passion to provide care. And I remember that day when I walked away thinking to myself, they're going to be successful, and I am glad they're coming to Oldsmar. So congratulations, because you have accomplished that.
Thank you.
Let me present you with Oldsmar Business of the Quarter, Award of Recognition, presented to TLC Adult Daycare and Recreation Center, 2021 fourth quarter.
Thank you.
To the photo op.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something?
We're very proud to be in Oldsmar. Great place. We looked at a lot of different places, and this was the best place. It's centrally located. We have members coming from West Chase, from Safety Harbor, from Clearwater, from East Lake, Tarpon Springs, Lutz, all over. So it's a perfect location. And I'm so proud of what we've been able to do here. We opened up right before COVID. So we struggled for about a year. Thought we might have to even actually have to close, but we stuck it out, and now we're almost full and actually thinking about expanding the location a little bit as well. So my family, my wife, everybody, they've just been fantastic, and thank you for everything you've done. So I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Been in there a couple times, and I have to tell you, it is a happy place.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in there, and if you have the opportunity, if you haven't, stop by.
Oh, yeah.
Come in.
I invite everybody, come in.
And it's a happy place. The seniors are having a good time. I feel like I'm getting old when I walk in there because they're like doing stuff. It's,
Bowling or volleyball.
yeah. So congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
All right, next item on the agenda is our Community Redevelopment Agency. Item number 3, I asked this item to be added to the agenda, discuss open house meetings on development agreement. When I requested this item, I probably should have been a little bit more precise with it, and it would have been better if I would have said related to the town center area specifically. As you all know, we've had a lot of discussion about this, and while we don't have a final proposal at this point, we've got certainly a concept plan that's been shared and discussed and continues to get discussed. And I'd like to see, though, if we can come to a consensus before we get the plan, before we get either this development agreement or there could be other development agreements. And that is, because we don't really have this policy in place, and I think it's wise, certainly the feedback we got makes it, this is what the citizens are looking for. And I would propose that when we get a final proposal back, that before we actually vote on it, we get it back, we receive it, we look at it, and assuming that we want to move at least on to the public discussion part, that we attempt to have at least 3 open house meetings. And I would propose that we consider having them, like one over at Tico Hall, maybe one over at Cypress Forest Rec Center. And then I did speak to the president over at Golair, and they would certainly be willing, depending on the timing of the court, is to have a meeting over there, which works out really well for the Harbor Palms area and Golair. So, and we could have staff get a little bit more in the details about how that looks, but I just wanted to see if anybody has any thoughts on that. If we have a consensus that that would be the way to move forward when we do finally have a proposal. Any comments? Councilman?
Certainly, Mayor. Yes, thank you. Just a couple of thoughts. You certainly have consensus from me. I do appreciate the diversity of locations. I think that's very important. And perhaps we could consider a bit of diversity in the times. So maybe something on a weekend so people who work can come. Maybe something in the evening, maybe something during the day, so that we get a diversity of input. And then, of course, I'm sure staff will ensure that the meetings, or rather the open houses, are well advertised in advance of the selected dates, just so that we can get sufficient participation and people know that it's going on.
Yeah, good. Councilmember Sraki, any comments?
I think it's a great idea. I've always wanted to do a town hall meeting or some type of meeting for the citizens. My question is why should we wait for a development agreement? Why don't we get started now?
Because we don't have anything to discuss.
Well, I think we could discuss maybe the what am I trying to say here? The density increase. We might want to bring that up because that's a big issue right now. We might want to have a town hall meeting to discuss that and see what the citizens have to say. Maybe just have the citizens involved with that. I think that might be a great idea. But as far as your locations go, I think it's a great idea. I talked to Felicia about it, and we were talking about maybe Tico Hall, but I do like the idea of the Golair people and Katie's idea with the different times. But I would like to throw out that we get it started immediately.
Well, I think we've had public hearings on the density issue itself. It's, pretty cut and dry. What's going to have a lot of moving parts to it, like the parking requirements and some of the questions that have been raised. You won't have those answers till you have an agreement. So it's kind of, you're not going to be able to answer the questions, which is always the frustrating part when you have a public hearing. Are you in a position to answer all the questions? The only thing on density we've answered and stated quite a few times, and I think people that are for it or against it. I don't think that's going to change a lot. Anyhow, Councilmember Graber.
Echoing Councilmember Gannon's statements, I just wanted to know when, and of course you answered that, which I'm in favor of. You need something to point to. And so with there just being conjecture and a series of different questions and a series of different opinions as to how this is all moving forward, as soon as we have an agreement in place, and like you said before we vote on it, you get the input before we make up our ultimate decision individually. So my questions were when, the format, and multiple different locations. You answered that as you discussed it initially, Mayor. So completely for it. yeah, just a matter of time before we can get that, but like Katie said, properly advertised, different times of the day. Because the diversity of the population, especially when we go from Gull Air to maybe some of the folks downtown, it's just like, hey, we can't get to some of these different things. We don't know what's going on. It's just like, well, here's 3 different ways for you to go. And if you want to go to all 3, you can. So completely in favor of it, absolutely.
Okay, all right, well, it doesn't, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, just one more, you sparked a thought in me by bringing up the parking issue. I think that you're right that the parking issue is a great question, that we could have some feedback, maybe staff could arrange for somebody to have feedback on some of the other questions that citizens brought up relevant to potential developer agreement, such as, infrastructure, sewage, people had questions about environmental impact, and we could have people there to answer those types of questions.
Yeah, I think part of it, and let staff go get creative on it, and the city manager and I've discussed this a little bit, but I think it's that driving force of having a room set up, and we've done it before on downtown, but it was
Flood
really
maps.
when,
The flood maps, yeah.
we, and where you had the opportunity to get hard answers, and but it was also a great opportunity for us to record feedback at.
Yeah.
And so that we have that feedback. So, okay. All right, so we have consensus on that?
Yes.
All right, very good. All right, moving on. Next item on the agenda is the consent docket, which will be announced by our city clerk.
Item number 4, authorized advertisement of 2022-007, invitation to bid, citywide HVAC repairs and replacements. Item number 5, authorized task form 5 of agreement 2020-003, request for qualifications, design services for Douglas Road Improvement Project with Kimley Horn and Associates Incorporated for preparation of Phase 2 final design plans from Stevens Avenue to Racetrack Road and bidding services for Phase 1 and 2. Item number 6, authorized advertisement of 2022-009, invitation to bid, landscape and median maintenance. And item number 7, approved minutes of the December 7, 2021 council meeting.
All right. Does anybody wish to pull anything?
No, sir.
Number 7, just very quickly, just to say thank you to whomever had to type the 20 pages, single-spaced worth of notes. I just wanted to extend my sincere gratitude to
Thank you,
getting that done.
Kathy.
Thank
Good
you,
point.
Kathy.
Very good point. All right. It's
Yeah,
time to chair entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Sensing you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. City of Oldsmar, item number 8, approve the selection committee for the fiscal year 21-22 commission piece of public art at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. This time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the presented list.
So moved.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I think this is wonderful.
Yeah, it is exciting. Councilmember.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to just make it a point to mention that there are 16 people on this list. And I think that is incredibly important and very impressive that we have this diverse group of people who are looking to provide input on this. I think it's really important we get input from our community on this project, and I really appreciate, the different members of the professional organizations, but also the folks in our community that we selected. So I thank the city and staff for putting this very diverse list together.
Very good. Comments?
I just would like to say something real quick, Mayor. Like Katie said, I love all the people that are involved in the list. I think this is wonderful for our city, and I'm looking forward to see what they come up with.
Yeah, it should be good. I have a comment, and I know, look, I think everybody who's been presented on this list are outstanding selections. I really do.
Agree.
And Councilmember Siraki, I know you're going to think I'm picking at you. I'm not, but I feel compelled to comment. Paula is competent, sharp, really always very talented, but I will ask you the question, and that is, the last 3, I guess, I don't know how many of these we've done, 3 or 4, we all got to select someone. You've picked your wife each time. Do you have any concern that might eliminate some other citizens to participate?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Well, first of all, for this committee, Felicia actually asked me to do that, and I agreed with her. So I picked Paula.
Well, that's good enough.
But for long term, my wife and I are a very unique couple. We're a team. We work well together, and she's an artist. She's been an artist her whole life. for college. She was an artist. She paints paintings all the time. So I think she's a perfect fit for this. And as far as Paula goes, I encourage her to be involved in this city. I encourage her to increase her education in the city of Oldsmar so that someday maybe she might want to decide to run for city council. I don't know. But I am always encouraged her since the day I met her to be involved and constantly improve herself so that she can be an asset to this community.
Well, she is an asset to the, she is an asset to the community, but I've been asked the question, so, you know, I still plan on supporting her, but I wanted to raise the question because I've been asked it, and it does seem, yes.
Just a moment. If I may, City Attorney, is there a conflict of interest for appointment of a spouse to a charter review committee, ordinance review committee, and a public art commission for?
There's no conflict of
Okay.
interest at all.
Okay.
No.
So it's just a matter of appearances.
I hope you're not jealous. I'm sorry about that.
Why would I be jealous?
Because she's motivated.
No, listen, I've often said she's the extra council person.
Okay, well, I just want you to know she's excited.
Yeah, I'm just saying that there are other people out there, and, you know, it's just kind of reoccurring, but in any event. All right, any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. All right, City Attorney.
I don't have anything on the agenda tonight, thank you.
Great report. All right, City Manager.
Item number 9, adopt resolution 22-01, updating authorized signatories for Wells Fargo and other financial institutions of subsequently repealing resolution 2017-17. This resolution is to repeal resolution 2017-17, authorizing signatories for Wells Fargo. It is necessary to update the authorized signatories resolution due to a change in staff. The city has found it necessary to occasionally provide documentation for accounts and investment purchases to certify the authorized signers to financial institutions. I'd like to read the resolution by title only. A resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, designating authorized signatories for Wells Fargo Bank and all other financial institutions per City of Oldsmar investment policy, utilizing a format that correctly presents information required by the financial institutions, providing for distribution of the same, providing the repeal of Resolution 2017-17, and providing for an effective date hereof.
All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 10.
Item number 10, approve the consent to assignment of the solid waste collection franchise agreement to Coastal Waste and Recycling of Central Florida, LLC. Following council approval, the city entered into a franchise agreement with Russo & Sons, LLC, DBA Orion Waste Solutions for citywide solid waste collection. Since that time, Orion Waste Solution has been acquired by Coastal Waste and Recycling of Central Florida, LLC, and assigned the city's franchise agreement to same. The management team and staff currently working with the city will remain the same. In addition, the acquisition should provide the vendor access to capital and new opportunities that support their company's growth and investment in additional equipment.
No changes to the budget.
All right. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Discussion.
It's good to see you out there.
Good to see you out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep picking up garbage.
I'm assuming, I do have a question for Tom. I'm assuming the agreement's assignable.
It is assigned.
Okay, excellent. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11.
Item number 11, approve an agreement to the use of recreation facilities with Oldsmar Little League. The City of Oldsmar partners with youth sports organizations to provide recreation-based sports activities at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. This item recommends the approval of an agreement that utilizes baseball and softball fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, located in the Phase 1 portion of the complex. This agreement reflects a field allocation that considers the number of players served by the organization. Based on their needs and goals, Oldsmar Little League, Inc. is allocated field space Monday through Friday from 5 to 11 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This allocation does not include Sundays or when fields are utilized for tournaments or closed for maintenance. The league will be responsible to reimburse the city 50% of the electric costs for the concession stand year-round and $10 per hour per field for ball field lights whenever used by the league. The agreement has been reviewed by the city attorney. Staff recommends approval.
At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
One quick plug, registration is going on now for Little League, so if you're interested, head to the city's website or Oldsmar Little League's Facebook page for more information.
Excellent, excellent.
Great. We're too old.
We're too old, yeah.
Can't, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys can.
Sponsors, we could be sponsors.
Yeah,
There you
sure.
go.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 12.
Item number 12, authorize city manager to execute change order number 2 to work order number 9, 2018-007-RFQ with our Dura Group for the Water Reclamation Facility Control Building, project design, permitting, and construction engineering services to include a more suitable site. A new control building for the water reclamation facility is currently under design by our Dura Group. The project will replace and elevate the original 1973 administration and laboratory building to ensure greater resiliency from coastal flooding. The project is very complicated due to the replacement of sophisticated electrical controls that manage the wastewater treatment process and the inability to shut operations down during construction. Work order number 9's design intent was to construct a new control building directly over the existing hexagonal structure to minimize the need to relocate electrical motor controls. Discussions and evaluations during the 60% design development indicated that an alternate greenfield site located approximately 135 feet west of the current building would have less conflict with multiple utilities discovered surrounding the existing building and offer less risk of operational interruption. This approach would construct an entirely new building with new controls and electrical while normal operations continue in the existing building. Once the new structure is complete and tested, transfer of the new control systems can be conducted with the old system as a backup. This change will require additional design and permitting efforts, including civil, structural, architectural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing revisions. The cost of the design change fee roughly equates to 1/2 of the estimated reduction in the construction cost due to a simpler design of a building with less relocations and conflicts. The estimated construction cost savings do not include any expected bid reduction associated with less contractor risk during construction. The consultant Ardura Group is under contract with the city for utilities general engineering design services. Design, bidding, and construction services for this project were initiated in September 2020 through work order number 9. Change order number 1 was executed in January of 21 to include additional subsurface utility engineering and subsequently identified many utility conflicts in the vicinity of the existing building. This change order number 2 will compensate for the additional engineering design to relocate the project to a more suitable location that appropriately minimizes the risk of wastewater operations during construction. The change order is a lump sum value not to exceed $125,680. The design for the project was originally budgeted in 2021 and sufficient unencumbered appropriations are available.
Staff recommends approval.
Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. All right, chair will entertain a motion.
I'd like to make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
I have a we can
Go ahead, no.
Oh, you may go.
Go ahead.
So do you remember when, I think you just came back on city council and you and I took a tour of the old plant? Remember you and I?
Was that you?
Yeah, you and I were in it.
Oh, the second time around. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
the second time around. And you and I were like, man, this place is a mess.
I do
You remember
remember.
that?
I remember. We're
So
like,
this is great.
no, it's great. And the timing of it's perfect too, while we're digging into our sustainability plan.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and certainly the governor's help was,
Yes.
Yes,
that's nice, nice, yeah.
that's all I had. I'm sorry, Katie, go
No,
ahead.
no, you're fine. Just a couple quick things that kind of echo that. I think, you know, it looks like we're spending money, but we're also saving money on this
Right.
change order. It makes a lot of sense to me. As soon as I saw it, I thought back to my tour 2 years ago when it was still kind of a mess. And it makes a lot more sense to build a square rather than a hexagon. So I think this will also help out because there was a big question mark as to how are we going to continue to operate while we're redoing the existing building. I think this makes a lot more sense. I think it will be much easier to transition, and there's not really a need to try to use broken parts to make something new. So I think this is going to help us in the long run. And as you said, with the sustainability, I mean, when we looked at that study of our most vulnerable buildings, that was it, you know,
Right.
and we're looking to build right on top of it. Doesn't make sense. Finding a better spot with less conflict, it's really important.
Very good. Councilmember Graber, any comments?
I just, my concern with the building's always been it getting overtopped. And so if it's overtopped with a significant water event, then I don't know what would happen. So
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Exactly. I don't want to think about it. But that was always my concern. So when I read this, I was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Funny how all of our highly sensitive treatment plants seem to be all over the region right on the water.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Not the best plan, but
Well,
we'll
that's
deal
the
with
whole
it.
discharge plan.
We'll
is
deal
what that
with it.
was.
We'll
So,
deal with it.
in any event, all right. Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 13.
Item number 13, approve the special event application fee rate waiver request for the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce's second Friday events to be held on January 14th, February 11th, March 11th, April 8th, and May 13th, 2022. The Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce proposes to continue its successful series of downtown festivals throughout the winter and spring months of 2022. These festivals have brought a new vibe to the downtown area by promoting Oldsmar businesses and local vendors along State Street and the open field adjacent to City Hall. The events have included vendor booths, car shows, food and drink vendors, and live entertainment. In accordance with the City of Oldsmar's special event guide, the above organization requests the city waive the fees associated with these 5 events in the amount of $4,561.50. Utility fees of $200 and all external costs and taxes will be the event organizer's responsibility as outlined in the application. A copy of the application is attached for review. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Discussion.
Great.
Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. City manager, anything else?
Thank you very much, Mayor.
You did good. You did great. Great.
Nice.
Well, congratulations on your first of many, many, many.
Many.
I can't thank you all
many.
enough for the
Thousands.
opportunity, so thank you.
Many
Yeah.
meetings.
Congratulations. We all are excited to have you here. All right, city clerk.
Oh, just a warm and hearty welcome to Felicia, and you know she's already excellent already. So, good stuff. That's all.
Very good. All right. All right, city council, item 14. Approved naming the fenced-in area at the Lightning Maid Street Hockey Rink presented by Heritage Insurance to the Braithwaite Hockey Center. That is exciting.
It is.
Awesome.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have
you
a
got me.
motion and a second.
It's all right.
Discussion.
Congratulations, Al.
That's
Well
fantastic.
deserved.
Yeah.
The look on his face at the retirement party when we showed him that sign was priceless.
Yeah, that was great
And
to
that
hear that.
was one of his favorite, if not his most favorite projects. And staff just ran with it and made it happen. He was so proud. I remember that day when he was standing there when we opened it and he just was beaming. He was beaming. It's the perfect and appropriate way to remember him.
It is, you know.
Really
I
make a
laugh, you know,
monument there.
going back to when the project was first envisioned and the cost involved. And it was amazing to me how Al found the money for that project.
It's amazing. So quickly, too.
You know, I mean, there were no new slides going in, but no. And you know, I just want to thank the staff, since this is really the first time we've all been back together
is.
for
It
the
is.
work that they did on the retirement event. I thought it was so fitting of Al, the way that came together, and it was, I was having a hard time visioning it, quite honestly, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was really good.
Kathy and Karen and Ann and Chip, everybody, you guys did such a great job organizing it.
Yeah, it was really
And Carla
good.
for the cakes.
So
Oof,
one
Lord.
question, Felicia, are you working on trying to get the sides so the rain doesn't come in? Are we working on that?
That's it. Let's get to work. You've been on the job for how many days now?
20 minutes? No.
Minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
We've investigated many options for that, and none of them are actually feasible to look at different applications for the rink. So for that.
You'll
So
figure it out. I know you will.
Maybe a more innovative way to remove the water after the rain, or some.
Well, maybe we should go ahead and
Maybe
vote on this.
explore some options. Yeah, in any
All right,
event.
since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying Al Braithwaite.
Al Braithwaite.
All right. All opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Al.
Congratulations, Al.
All right, next item on the agenda is city council comments, council member comments, excuse me. And I'm going to start on this end with Councilmember Graber.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Not too much tonight. Congratulations, Felicia. Apparently you need to get to work, but I think we'll start pretty quickly after this. I'm glad Second Friday is continuing. When it was coming up in December, I was hoping to make sure that we could continue it through the spring, and of course into the summer, but it's just been a great event. Everybody, all the feedback's been fantastic, so I'm glad to see that. My mom's birthday is this weekend. I won't tell you, but she's excited to celebrate. And just one more thing, having been through it last year, after the first of the year, there might be some individuals in this room who may be running for office, but it's election season, so I just wanted to wish those of you who are the best of luck. Other than that, that's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good. Councilmember Sraki.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Two things. The new Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce Business Community Directory Guide is out.
Oh,
You can
excellent.
pick that up at the chamber office. They were delivered yesterday. Paula designed them and we printed them. And it hasn't been out, I think, for, this is 3 years now. They were gonna bring it out last year, but COVID canceled it. But it's out, and all the businesses in the Tampa Bay are all in here. There's some great information in here about our city. It's great little information guide, and like I said, they're at the chamber office. You can go across downstairs and grab what you need, but they're really nice.
Excellent.
The second thing I want to say is, Felicia, what did you do to the rec center? All of a sudden, we got all this parking. What's going on? Was that you? Is that your first day on the job, and you make all this parking for everybody?
we investigated parking options, and our staff, Daniel Simpson, really spearheaded the solution for that.
Well, I went to play hockey last night. It was canceled because of the rain, so I went yoga. Paula makes me go to yoga. I go to yoga, and there's all these parking spots. So congrats, that was wonderful.
Good job.
I love it. Thank you. That was way overdue. We needed that. And then the last thing is, you did great tonight. Congratulations. I look forward to working with you in the future, and great job. That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. You do yoga?
Yeah, I
Do you?
have to go. If I
It's
don't
good
have
for
to
your
act, I
joints.
have to go.
I heard it is. I just don't envision myself being able to do it.
I have no choice.
Gotcha. All right, all right. Councilmember.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple quick things. A very happy new year to everyone. And I wanted to just thank the city because part of my kids' very, very Merry Christmas this year was due in large part to a lot of the efforts of city staff and the many events we had leading up into Christmas. We celebrate Christmas. And, you know, the Christmas with Santa pictures with anonymous Santa and Mrs. Claus and Winter Wonderland breakfast with Santa was amazing. That we sprinkled the reindeer food. You know, I just want you guys to know that, you know, people take home the arts and crafts that they make with leisure services staff. We hung those candy canes on our tree. They were the most deformed looking reindeers I've ever seen. But my kids took a lot of pride in it, and I know my neighbors did too, because they were there. And we sprinkled our oatmeal and glitter reindeer food all over the front yard. And it really matters, you know, and when you have, you know, the younger folks there and the volunteers there, and they're into it, you know, they're wearing the elf shoes and I mean, Jackson looked up and said, "Are you really an elf?" And you should have seen his face when that gentleman, he couldn't have been, I mean, I feel old, but I'm looking at this kid, he's probably 20 or 23, and he looks right back at Jackson, he says, "Oh, yes, I am." And it's just, it really matters. Every little detail and every little person who puts in that effort, it really matters. So thank you all.
Your kids were great.
Yeah, it took Maddie two
Your daughter.
times to get the courage.
Yeah.
A big, big heartfelt congratulations to Felicia. And a big, big heartfelt thank you to Al. And as the mayor mentioned, we had the opportunity to celebrate at a small gathering, a retirement party for him, just the way he would want it, with barbecue and cake and hockey. So many thanks to him. A couple things, I do apologize, I have to take up just a little bit of time. I participated near the end of the year, I think it was December 15th, in the ethics training. The Florida League of Cities puts on the ethics training via virtual courses, super convenient. It's the mandated, state-mandated 4-hour course, which includes training on ethics and public records laws, very important. And something that I appreciate about it every year is, although some of it's the same because the statutes don't change that much, the part that changes rather often, and surprisingly so, and that I get into because I'm an attorney as well, and I think it's cool when new case law comes out and new decisions come out. But actually, Robert Eschenfelder from Tom's firm, our city attorney's firm, Trastagno, he had a portion where he presented on ethics and public records as well. He commented throughout. Excellent presentation, and presentation on a couple of new things that I wanted to share with you guys because it bothered me, and I don't ever want us to be on the wrong side of this. So I bring this up because, recently our city manager emailed around to us our procedures. And I think it's important to take a look at that annually. And in conjunction with this ethics presentation, a couple of things were brought up that I would like to see on a future agenda to discuss in earnest if some items need to be added to our rules and procedures, certainly with further input from our city attorney as well. And among them, for example, an ethics opinion regarding passing of notes up on the dais. Robert Eschenfelder gave an example of a citizen who was at a meeting and witnessed a note being passed. I can't recall offhand if it was from a charter official to a council member or a council member to council member. I hope it was not the latter. And the citizen made a contemporaneous public records request to see the note, and was permitted to do so. And I think it's important that we recognize that everything up here, including what we're writing down in here, to the extent that it's factual information, is public record. Another thing that was very important that I pay attention to was cell phones. Okay, so I know we've visited this in the past, that cell phones, your text messages and social media posts and public records in that context. But this was a particular example of using a cell phone during a meeting. And I mean, holding a cell phone while, you guys can't see everything that's in front of me, but holding up a cell phone during a meeting on social media. There was also an awful example of someone being on a cell phone, or I can't recall if it was a cell phone or an iPad, and watching a sports game. So not as nefarious, but it's important because it's about perception. It's about perception when we're being watched on YouTube or if we're being watched live, that the people who are sitting out here and the people who are watching at home know that, I'm not on my cell phone getting text messages from the city manager about a comment that is not been made public, or I'm getting a text message from the mayor. I mean, people don't know. And I don't want people to assume that anybody up here is doing anything wrong or is not, on the up and up. And I think that, as technology changes, we forget that, we forget to kind of look at those policies and procedures and those rules that we abide by. And we forget that, oh yeah, that's kind of now a thing because we have iPads in front of us, and I know that you have the digital format of the agenda that is posted on our city website, available on your iPad. I believe Councilmember Knapp does the same thing with the clickable agenda items to reduce paper, because I have this giant binder full of paper, whereas you have a more sustainable method of making smaller notes but using the iPad. But I do think it's important that we take a look at what we're permitted to have up here and how we're permitted to use it. I was thinking, people, I think it was brought up in the past that, well, I want to have my cell phone for if there's an emergency, I want somebody to be able to get a hold of me. Well, we could designate, Kathy or Ann, if there's an emergency, they have a phone. You know, we can get a call if there's an emergency, but you know, to take out your cell phone and look at it, you know, I think that's a problem, and I think it needs to be included in some of our rules, or at least examined. But most of the ethics presentation was a lot about perception, public perception of misconduct. And even if it doesn't actually turn out to be misconduct, the perception and an accusation of it can be even more damaging than any eventual finding of no wrongdoing. So I would be interested in reviewing our council procedures and rules again, to include maybe some ethics opinions such as those and any others that might be deemed important by any other member of this council or by our city attorney. So I wanted to bring that up. It was an excellent presentation by Mr. Eschenfelder. I do extend my thanks to him for holding it on December 15th as we get it in under the line sometimes, that last bit of ethics every year. One other thing, you know, it came up tonight, and I feel compelled to explain how I select folks to serve on different advisory committees. You know, and this is just me. You know, you guys can do however you want to, select people, nominate people for certain positions, that's fine. But the way I do it is I always try to pick someone new every time. I try to pick somebody who might have an existing interest in a particular topic. For example, Sean Swager, I chose him for the Charter Review Committee. I know he's a realtor, and I know he has interest in getting more involved, and so I selected him for that particular position. For the public art, I selected Grace Babukas. She's over on Park Boulevard. I know she's an artist, and she also had interest in perhaps the downtown, including, I should say, the town center, including some elements of public art as well. And we had previously discussed that. And so that's how I come up with, you know, who I select. And of course, I ask them if they're interested first. You know, some people might have other commitments or things that they're, you know, unavailable kids, or they're unavailable to serve. But for the most part, the people that I ask, even if it's the first or second time I've ever spoken to them, they're happy to serve and delighted to become more involved. So just so that the public is aware, when we're as a council asked to appoint someone or make a selection, that's my method. And if anybody out there listening is interested in, you know, putting themselves forward as a potential candidate or a nominee for a position related to public art or any other board or anything else, please let me know. You know, don't be afraid to approach us. But I wanted to just disclose how I go about it. In any event, I am looking forward to Second Friday again and the beginning of a new year. I wish you all a very happy new year, and I look forward to seeing our candidates at the January 27th forum, which will be here. And I am looking forward to a very collaborative and a very thoughtful and productive and friendly election season, so that we can really show Oldsmar what our candidates have to offer, and that they have a variety of excellent choices. So I'm really looking forward to the next few months, and best of luck, as Steve said, to everyone.
Very good. We're friendly. I think we're friendly.
You know what I'm talking about?
I
It's
know
the
what I'm talking
signs.
about. Right there, look.
It's the signs.
And the sign
Don't get
wars,
messy with the campaign signs.
Yeah, it
everybody,
always
all right?
happens. It's always the guy
Greg will
mowing the
come and
yard
get
too,
you.
who just runs it over.
Greg will come and get your
All
signs.
right. Thank you. And, you know, to your point on some of the ethics issues, you know, social media has changed. I was there when we had the big debate over cell phones.
Oh, you were?
I was
Okay,
there,
so you
and the
have
whole
more-
thing was,
So you have more insight than I do.
you know, we were originally turning them off. I don't know if you remember this, Tom, but we were having the discussion. It was like, I remember it was like, well, we should have them, just not use them for emergency purposes. But I think you raised a really good point. That was a long time ago. And with social media, I mean, you know, posting something during a debate is a really, really bad idea, right? Because you're in a debate, and so, or you're in a hearing, and so you're expected to listen to everyone's opinion, not broadcast it. And those types of things are very new and very different from what we've dealt with in the past. So I think you make an excellent point. It's something that we should put on the agenda or ask our city attorney to go dig into.
Yeah, perhaps
look at
review some
perhaps-
of the recent ethics opinions that have come out, and if we need some changes, then we can take a look at them together and decide if there's consensus on any of the
I think it's
changes.
great. Good.
Anybody that abuses that, Tom, in your other cities? Cell phone use?
I don't know if I would consider abusing it, but there are other cities that do have cell phones on the dais. I will tell you in Madeira Beach, they have adopted a specific rule that said no cell phone usage at all during commission meetings. And that's been in
fine.
existence for a couple of years. But you know, some cities are so small, the meetings last 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And it's come and gone. And so it really doesn't come up that often. When you have a lot of business, I know that I use my cell phone in quasi-judicial hearings a lot when I'm, you know, having to hear from the city clerk as to timing, sometimes the mayor as to what do I do next, you know, that type of thing. So I have used my phones in long hearings, but it's whatever policy you want to adopt, you know.
I think it's, you know, come back with what you think is probably best practices and let's vote on it, right? All right, I'm gonna move on. I've got some comments. First off, I want to thank Councilmember Siraki and the fire department for all the work they did on the, I know you're not Santa, but you have set Santa up to be there.
A messenger from Santa.
And so I know that the kids get such a big thrill out of it, and it's a big deal. And I know it takes a lot of work from the department, as well as yourself and Paula. So thank you to be recognized for all that effort. It brings a lot of smiles to the kids. I want to thank Ashley Painter and everybody who was involved in the Vertical Oyster Garden event that we held out at Ariel's Park. I think everybody was able to make it. I think you were out of town.
I was at the breakfast.
Oh, that's right, you were the Santa.
I mean, he was a messenger.
He was helping Santa out there, that's right. So it was, everybody was busy, it was all hands on deck, and I was really impressed. We figured it out, like close to 100 people that had came out.
I have a question.
Sure.
And if I'm off base, please tell me, but how do we find out if these oysters actually go there?
Ashley said there's gonna be like periodic checkups, right?
Yeah, so part of the process, it's a great question, right?
Okay.
It's a great question. So we believe in the initial due diligence that it's going to work only because of what they saw on investigating the bay and pilings and that type of stuff. However, specifically for the vertical oyster gardens, is that it's probably a 7-month period.
Okay.
And then we have to do monitoring of them, and some of the volunteers will be doing the monitoring. And I think it's the Girl Scouts who are doing some of the monitoring, is that right?
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, like I told you, I was at Satellite Beach and they had just put theirs
Right.
in.
Oh, really?
And I sent Eric all the
Yeah.
pictures of them doing it. I was there when they were doing it, and I took all these pictures for Eric and sent them over. And they said they didn't know. They said it would be 6 months or 8 months. They weren't sure, but I hope it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. We had a great response. We had some folks come over from Safety Harbor as well. And there's like part 2 of that's coming. So we'll keep it going. It was just, but Ashley did an amazing job and inserted, I want to say First Watch. Is it First Watch? It's
Tampa Bay Watch.
Tampa Bay Watch.
Yeah.
First Watch is that's a restaurant. I'm hungry, what can I say? But they did a terrific job out there too. I mean, they were loud, they were large and in charge, and just confidence, it was good. So anyhow, thank you for everybody who came out and participated from the community. Golf cart parade the same day. Once again, the staff and the deputies and everybody really slated. I think we had when I heard the last count, there were like 65 carts out there, but there were a lot, and everybody had a really good time. So once again, extra effort. On the 12th was tribute to the troops, and I know that I was supposed to go. I'll tell you what happened. That one day on the 11th, there were 5 events that we attended, and the last one we went to was a private holiday party where your mayor was drinking water and left and was in bed by 10 o'clock and sick. And so Vice Mayor Knapp, Vice Mayor Knapp attended the event for me. He was planning on going anyhow, he told me. But tribute to the troops, if you didn't see it, they come in with the motorcycle procession and they go down to Veterans Park. And that was a Gold Star, like Mother's Day, if you will. And so it was really a meaningful event. And I just heard wonderful things about how moving it was. So, and thank you to the Grosses who always have such a role in those events. But I did want to make a point of thanking them and the Vice Mayor. I have something new to bring up. So most of you are familiar with the property on Shore Drive, at the end of Shore Drive and Oakwood, right? If you go down Shore Drive, it's
Near
fenced
Jerry?
in, it's private. There used to be 3 lots there, right by Linda Norris's home.
Yeah, Jerry and Linda down like at the end there, yeah.
Right, and so, years ago, there were 3 lots there. The city tried to acquire them. We were unsuccessful, right? And the gentleman who bought them, he was gonna put in 3 different homes. He built the one home, and Brian Trest, I saw him and he mentioned to me, he said, he lives over in Seaside Estates, and he said, they're on the market. And so we're like, could be interesting. And so I had asked Felicia if she could take a look and let's see what they're asking for.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they're not on the market. They weren't on multiple listing. However, Felicia did some due diligence, and the gentleman over there said that he would entertain an offer from the city.
Oh.
And so Felicia explained to him that we're not able to pay more than an appraisal. And the gentleman was actually quite workable, where he said, well, if it's for the city, I would actually consider working with you on an appraisal price. And so, you know, here I am, a guy who's always said we've got lots of parks, we got plenty of parks, but when you look at that possibility of adding that property on the bay, it does a few things. Number one, it does help us with some of our mitigation plans, which is pretty material. I mean, it's significant. The other thing, it's on the water. We would never have the opportunity again. And so if it's a consensus with this council, what it would require is us to give a directive to the city manager to move forward with an appraisal. She has the authority because the appraisal price is really low. I spoke with our city attorney about that. I mean, and so, but I just wanted to bring it up as a possibility. We don't know what that's gonna look like. We gotta work out the funding and that kind of stuff, and maybe there's some people we can go to for some help with it, maybe the county or something like that. But I'm just curious if we got a consensus on looking at that.
Is it one lot or both lots?
Both lots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big I think was it Mayor Beaverland who was very interested in doing that, and
Years ago.
Mayor
Bruce.
Beavis and Bruce were very much in
was
favor
really
of
into
it,
it.
if I recall.
Right, and well, and what happened was we just got like destroyed on price.
Yeah, but it was
Which was disappointing because, well, there's a long history there with the people who still own the property and it, you know, and there was family members and that kind of thing.
Sure, but if past councils, past mayors, and past city managers have all been in favor of looking at it, I would be in favor of learning the appraisal price and
Okay.
potential.
We all good with this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so I would take that as a directive. I'm excited about the prospect of it. You know, we don't know if something we can make happen, but it's certainly, when we have the opportunity to look at it, we absolutely should. You know, it's always one of those lessons you learn. Jerry Beaverland was a preacher on this. If you can buy the land, buy it and bank it. You don't have to use it right away.
Right.
And so that's why we're in a position we are, so with that. All right, last thing I have is I do want to congratulate Felicia. Excited about you taking the reins, and I know you're going to do great things. I'm really excited about working with you. Your expertise are perfect for where the city's at right now, and certainly the relationships that you have in the county, we've already benefited from. And so, congratulations, your first meeting. I'm going to give you an A. I think we all will. And I will close by two things. One, saying Happy New Year to everyone. And once again, to thank Al Braithwaite for all of his service.
Absolutely.
He worked very hard for the city. Certainly a different leadership style. I don't ever envision the door shutting for our one-on-one and there'd be yelling going back and forth with our new city manager, as there might have been with our old city manager.
You never know.
I would be scared if she started yelling at me. I would
You
just
should
pipe
be.
down.
You should
Al,
be.
it never bothered me.
No.
Never bothered me. But I do want to wish him well, and once again, at least one last time, thank him for his service to the city. All right, with that, Happy New Year's, everyone, and I'm going to go to item number 16, approve the tentative agenda for January 18th, 2022. Does anybody wish to pull anything from the tentative agenda? All right, no one wishes to pull anything? Since you ready to vote, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second, does not require a vote, we're adjourned.